This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Thank you so much to EA for sending me a code. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speedrunning video, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. So in today's video I'm going to be building in the world of Myshuno, which is the world that we got from the expansion pack The Sims 4 City Living, and I'm going to be building a luxury high-rise apartment using all the new content, all the new items that we got from the latest kit release, which came out yesterday, which was The Sims 4 Modern Luxe Kit. So this apartment ends up having one bedroom and one bathroom, and it's built in the area of Myshuno, which is the arts quarter. Normally I tell you the lot size, but apartments are a bit weird because it's just like grids. There's not like an actual lot size for it, but it's built in the arts quarter. I believe off memory the Jang family live here originally when you go into a brand new save file. But yesterday, if you wasn't aware, it was new kit day. We got two new kits for The Sims 4. We got a Creator Sim kit and then also a build and buy kit. The Creator Sim kit is called the Poolside Splash Kit, and it's basically just some new bikinis, some new swimwear. Appreciate it, love that. And then we also got a new build and buy kit, which kind of focuses on like luxury modern bedroom items. And of course I wanted to straight away sit down and do a build using all the new content, all the new items that we got in the kit. And yeah, that is exactly what I did, and I really loved this apartment. I'm really happy the way it turned out, and so yeah, I really hope you guys like it. But getting on and talking a little bit more about this build. So you can see that I started this apartment off by pretty much just figuring out the floor plan for the apartment. I then went in and just did all the wallpapering. By the way, in this new Modern Luxe Kit, we have got the nicest panelled wallpaper. You can see that I've placed it down into kind of like this open space lounge kitchen area. The white panelling on the walls is a brand new wallpaper. We got it from the kit and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I'm going to have to try and restrict myself from not putting it in every single one of my builds, because we do have a base game paneling wallpaper and I have used it so many different times before in the past, but it came out in 2014 when The Sims 4 was launched, and I feel like since then the game has just evolved so much in terms of like graphics and meshes and just the quality and the look of the items. I'm so happy we've now got a new panelled wallpaper and it just looks so good. Like, it looks like custom content. I actually can't believe it. But yeah, I've already gone in and done all of the wallpapering and also the flooring. Also played about with the windows in this apartment. So basically, coming into this build, I pretty much already had my mind set on what kind of apartment I wanted to furnish, how I wanted it to look, how I wanted it to feel. Also pretty much had a storyline for a sim living here already like mapped out in my mind, and I was just so excited to get in and actually start building it. But I basically envisioned this apartment to be a luxury modern high-rise New York City inspired apartment. Now in The Sims 4, Myshuno to me in my head is New York City. Like, whenever I play the game myself, I always have this storyline of like my Sims move to New York City. It's not New York City, it's Myshuno, but to me Myshuno is New York City, and so I wanted to basically decorate this apartment to be a luxury New York City high-rise. But I don't know about you, but whenever I personally think of a New York apartment, I always think of floor-to-ceiling windows, really big windows that let in lots of natural daylight. Normally they've got like them like grid spacings in between them, but the apartment when you originally go into a brand new save file doesn't have any of them. And so with the use of the tool mod, I basically just deleted the original windows in the apartment and pretty much just popped down my own ones. I know it probably seems really scary to do this if you're maybe not so familiar with the tool mod, but honestly, trust me, once you do it once or twice and you've really got the hang of it, you'll be running around Myshuno and pretty much changing all the different apartment windows layouts. Because the thing is about doing it is you can change the windows, you can delete them and then replace them, but then you can also change the placement of them. It just opens up so many different floor plan opportunities. It opens up so many different layouts for so many different apartments, because windows in apartments in Myshuno can be quite limiting. And so yeah, once you do it, trust me, it is quite easy to do so. But basically, a quick way of explaining how you do it is you go into the apartment, you have the tool mod little menu pop up, you then click on every single window that you want to delete, it will highlight green, you then go into the tool mod settings and then press delete group. Once you've done that, every single window just basically disappears, you've just deleted it, and then you can basically re-add them back in. The way that I do it is I basically build a wall pretty much straight ahead of where I want to place the window, and then I place down the window that I want to be on the exterior of the building. I then use the gravity pull feature of the tool mod and then basically gravity pull or like shift click it into placement, and then it's done. It's honestly, it's so simple. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. If I didn't explain that very well and you've got any questions, honestly, feel free to ask me and I'll do my best to explain it hopefully better in the comments if I didn't already do so. But I think as well I'm going to link a tool mod tutorial in the description box down below for how you basically change apartment windows. I know that SimLissy has got one, and so that will probably be the one that I end up linking. But yeah, that is pretty much how you change windows in The Sims 4. And also, if you're curious, the windows that I decided to go for in this apartment were the ones from the Greenhouse Haven kit. I'm a big lover of that kit. I find myself using it in the majority of my builds nowadays. But yeah, they are where them floor to ceiling one tile windows are from. But anyway, getting on and finally moving on and actually speaking about the build and the furnishing and what I'm doing right now. So you can see that I started off by pretty much just furnishing this little lounge sitting area space. One thing that I'm so excited for, do you see that painting that's above the fireplace? It's not a painting, that's a TV. That is a TV that we've now got in the Modern Luxe Kit. It looks like a painting, but when your Sims sit down and they click on it and they click watch TV, the painting in the frame disappears. It goes into a normal telly. Like it's a telly, but it's disguised as a painting. So when it turns, honestly, I'm so excited. We've now got something like that in The Sims 4. We do have custom content for things similar to this in the game already, but I'm so excited that we've actually got something in the actual game itself, because I'm thinking console players, people that can't download CC, like this is just so handy and just so good to have in the game. And it's one of my favourite items in the kit. But then saying that, there is so many good items within this Modern Luxe Kit. Like honestly, my jaw was on the floor. The wallpaper, the new bed, the rugs, the curtains, the little armchairs. We also have single pillows. Like we have pillow clutter. I've literally been saying this for so many years at this point. I wanted some pillow clutter just to clutter up freely onto beds, onto armchairs, onto sofas. Like I've been wanting something like this in the game for so long, and we've now got it with this new kit. It's made me so happy. But yeah, I placed down these new pillows onto the armchairs and then also at the sofa. Now, unfortunately, within the kit, we didn't get a new sofa, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I was quite heartbroken when I found this out for the first time. Once I got my hands on the kit, I really wanted to have a luxurious lounge living room space with matching sofas, matching armchairs, and just fill it with all these new cushions and just make it feel as luxurious as I could possible. And without having a sofa, it was quite hard to do that. But I quickly got over it, because I then saw that we've got this new record player, which you can see that I've placed down onto this side table over here. It's got an animation. It works. Like this is a new radio basically in the game that your Sims can play music from. They can dance to, you know, they can do the new like cowboy dance thing. Like it's a normal record radio station, but it's just so nice, and I'm really happy that we've got this in the game now, because we don't really have that many record players in The Sims 4. I know off memory, we've got, I think it's 3 of the same one, but in just like different colours from, I think, the high school years expansion pack. And I do often use them in my builds because I do really like the look of record players nowadays. Like, I just think they look so cool to have either in your lounge room, in your bedroom, just pop onto some sort of surface. And so normally, if ever I want to have the illusion of my Sims having a record player, I'll use the ones from the high school years expansion pack. But the thing is with them ones, they look a little bit dated. They look like they've been pulled off like the 1800s or something. And so now I'm so happy we've got like an updated, more modern version of one. And so of course I plopped that down into this apartment. There is also some new beautiful artwork that we've got within this kit. It's got so many different prints on. We've got like Sims. We've got some of that have got like boots on. Some that have got like perfume. They're so lovely. I've already placed down a few of the artwork pieces into this build already. I placed down one behind some of the armchairs in the lounge room. It's kind of like this painting of the Sim, and they've got these really big gold earrings. It's quite colourful, it's really beautiful. But I placed down that behind the armchair, and then I matched it with a painting that we got from the Book Nook kit. It looks like it's got some like motivational quote or just some words in general, and I don't know, I just felt like it went quite nicely, and so I placed that down next to it. But then behind that, with a little side table, I placed down another 2 pieces of the same painting, but just in different like swatches. So they got like different images on the painting, if you want to put it that way. I say side table. By the way, that little side table that I put the record player on, it's not actually a side table. It is in fact a chest of drawers. Like, your Sims can change their clothes there, but I wanted all the furniture in this like open living, like lounge, kitchen, dining room space to kind of like go together, and I don't know, I just felt like it could pass off for a side table, and so I made it seem like it was one. But anyway, moving on, as you can see, I've now moved over and I've started furnishing the kitchen. So initially, coming into this kitchen, I didn't have a Scooby, what kind of counters that I wanted to use, because I pretty much started off this apartment and started furnishing it in a bit of a backwards way to what I normally do my builds in, because normally I have a little bit of like a routine when it comes around to furnishing my builds. I will normally start off with like the front entrance hallway by the front door, and then I'll move into the kitchen, and then it'll be like the dining room, and then it'll be the lounge room, and so on and so forth. I kind of have that sort of routine with all of my builds, just because it's just easier for me to know where I am at, and it's just my method. It's just my method of building. But when it came into doing this build, I knew that I really wanted kind of like the main focal point for this apartment, especially in like this open lounge, kitchen, dining room space, to be the lounge room. And so I decided to start off with the lounge room, and then I thought, once I've got that figured out, I can then figure out the kitchen. And I was a little bit stuck what counters to go for, but I then decided to go for the ones that we got from the Vampires game pack, these black and white ones. They're just so timeless, and I feel like you can use these in so many different types of builds, and so I decided to use it in this kitchen. Also, something that I placed down to this kitchen, which honestly could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've used them in a build, but it's on the other side by one of the other windows. It's the espresso making station that we got from the Get Together expansion pack. If you're not aware, with the Get Together EP, you can basically send your Sims to cafes. You know, they can go and get a coffee, go and get a pastry, maybe you want to have like a little coffee date or something. Sims can basically just go to the cafe. But with the cafe like situation that we've got from that EP, we also have the ability to have espresso bars in our Sims kitchens. I never use them because with this like feature, you have like the espresso making station, but then you also have like the coffee bean grinder thing. I think that's what it's called anyway. You know, like when you put little beans in and then like grind it up. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm an instant coffee kind of girl. Like, I don't have a fancy coffee making station. Wish I did, but unfortunately I just use a Nescafe coffee, instant coffee. Really nice actually, but besides the point, I placed down the little coffee making station on the other side of the kitchen, and that way your Sims that live in this apartment, every single morning they can wake up and they can go and make themselves like a little cappuccino or like a Americano or any sort of coffee that they fancy. And the best thing about the espresso making station, to me anyway personally, is that your Sims have the little tiny cups. You know, sometimes when you go and get a coffee, if you get like a certain one or like a certain fancy one, you get little tiny cups for them. Well, we get that in The Sims 4 if you have this coffee making station. And so yeah, I placed that down to the kitchen. Also placed down some wine, little like nectar storing areas. I have already pre-stocked this, by the way. You'll notice that in the screenshots. I have already come in and got my Sims to basically chuck a load of wine bottles in there. So the Sim that lives in this apartment, Friday and Saturday nights at their place, it's going to be a good time because it's absolutely filled to the brim. But I'm not sure if they transfer to the gallery or not, so you'll have to let me know. But yeah, I placed down the little nectar storing racks into the kitchen as well. Originally, I was going to place down the ones that we got from the Dine Out game pack, but it's more so like a decoration of wine bottles. And then I remembered that we've actually got the nectar making function within the Horse Ranch expansion pack, and so yeah, I place them down into the kitchen. There also ends up being some sort of like a breakfast bar situation in the kitchen, so the actual kitchen counters itself kind of like wrap around the wall in almost like an L shape, but then we have a kitchen island in the middle. In the middle of the actual island itself is where I place down the oven and like the hob situation, but then there is also some bar stools. I then placed down a little book, some glasses, and then a little coffee mug. And when I was decorating it, I was personally thinking that the Sim that lives in this apartment, that is where they sit every single morning drinking their little cappuccino out of their little fancy mug, and it's where they read the newspaper. I personally imagined that the book that I placed down would be a newspaper, but we don't have newspapers in The Sims 4. I really wish we did. Honestly, that is something that I really, really miss from The Sims 3. But for the meantime, if we ever do get one, I'm going to place down that book and pretend it's a newspaper. But either way, moving on, as you can see, I've now moved over to the dining room area of this apartment. So the dining room, it just feels so fancy because I placed down at these same greenhouse haven kit windows, basically running along one of the whole entire walls, floor to ceiling windows, placed down the new curtains as well that we got in this kit, and then I placed down a 3 tile long table, quite a fancy table, matched it with the new dining room chairs that we also got from the Modern Luxe Kit. I then also placed down a little grand piano, placed down the TV again. The TV I placed down above the piano, but getting back to, when it's off, it just looks like a painting, but when it's on, it's a TV. You don't have to turn it on. I was more so placing it down just because I just really enjoy the artwork that comes on this TV, and so I place it down onto the little like wall area above the piano. Also placed down one of them busts that we got from the kit, one of them like sculpture looking things. I then clustered a load of different plants in the corner. I placed down one which is kind of like a palm tree, and that one is from the Paranormal Stuff pack, I believe. Side note, I really miss stuff packs. I really hope they make a return at one point, but at this going rate, I don't think we're going to get a stuff pack again. I really hope that's not the case, but yeah, the palm tree is from the Paranormal Stuff pack. I then also used a new plant that we got within the Modern Luxe Kit, and then I also finished off that little cluster of plants by placing down one that we got from, I believe it's the Blooming Rooms kit, and then I also placed down this little peacock statue because I'd already placed down like a bust or like some sort of like statue head on top of the piano. Like I said, it was from the new Modern Luxe Kit. But I placed that down and I thought I might as well go all out and place down another sort of like statue within the dining room. And so yeah, I placed down this little peacock statue. It is from the Decor to the Max kit, but you can see that I've now moved over and I've started furnishing the front entrance hallway. Honestly, this felt so backwards to me when I was decorating it. Like I said, I'm very much someone that has a routine when it comes around to building, and normally always start off by the front door, you know, get the placement for that, go into the kitchen and so on and so forth. But I wanted to kind of furnish the front entrance like area off how I decorated the rest of the open living space, and I felt like I couldn't really do that until I did it. And so yeah, this is a little front entrance hallway into the apartment. I did also decide to switch out the front door. So originally there is some base game kind of like brownie red looking double doors. I'm not a massive fan of them, and they also didn't match the feel that I wanted this apartment to give, and so I decided to switch out the door to the one that we got from, I believe it was the Discover University expansion pack. It's like this black door, it's got like a little window on the top of it. It's very New Yorky, I feel like anyway, but I placed that down. Also sized up this big marble table and popped down some like books on top of it, some like bowls, a new little clutter of like a handbag with like some keys and stuff. Also placed down a few different like books and just random bits and bobs onto the side table, and then also placed down a little umbrella stand by the front door. But now, as you can see, I've now moved on into the next room, which is the home office. So like I mentioned, I pretty much came into this apartment already having kind of like a set idea in my mind of building this really luxurious, modern, New York City high-rise apartment, like make it really fancy and just quite feminine in like some particular areas here and there. But I also have my heart set on the kind of sim that I was building this apartment for. So the reason why there is a home office in this apartment is because I was personally envisioning a single sim to live here, and this sim would be a lawyer. Now I was thinking they are like top tier, like they are really good at their job, like they are proper good at being a lawyer. If there was like level 12 in the lawyer career, they would be even level 20. They would be level 20. Like they are so successful at what they do. I just imagine him to be this single, personally was imagining a woman sim who is just so involved with like women empowerment, and she's just so good at her job. And the reason why I'm saying about women empowerment is because there is so many different feminine related paintings around the apartment, and I feel like maybe it's got something to do with some of the cases that she maybe takes on or something. And so yeah, I was just basically building this little home office for her like work from home station. So in here I placed down these really tall bookcases. The ones that I've used are from the StrangerVille game pack. Never get to use these because they are set to the tallest wall height in the game, which normally I never build in the tallest wall height, but you can't change the wall height in apartments, and so kind of worked out because then I got to use them in this little home office. Also ends up being like a little computer desk. I placed down some more paintings onto the walls. The ones that I placed down behind the sofa, by the way, are ones that we got from the vintage Glamour stuff pack, which I remember when that stuff pack first came out years ago. I remember every single household that I had, they had them paintings somewhere, if not dotted about everywhere. Like I used to have them in the lounge, I used to have them in the bedrooms, I used to have them in the hallways. Like I was so obsessed with them paintings, and I rarely use them nowadays, but they are actually really nice. The painting comes in 3 different swatches. There is one that looks like it's meant to be Marilyn Monroe, there is another one that looks like it's meant to be Audrey Hepburn, and then there is another one which I'm not too familiar with who the other sim in the painting is meant to be, but basically them paintings are all about basically strong women, and I just felt like it fitted in with this apartment, with the idea for the sim that I imagine living here just so perfectly. And so yeah, I popped them down into the little home office. But then as well as that, I placed down some like filing cabinets next to the desk, also plopped down like a little fluffy rug onto the floor, and then also placed down some curtains kind of on the inside of the office, because I was imagining maybe this sim has got like guests over, maybe her mates have come round and they want to have like a nectar and pizza night or something, and maybe they're in like the lounge space and the sim's just like finishing up some work, and so if she needs to, she can like pull them curtains for privacy or something. But anyway, moving on, as you can see, I've now moved over into the next room, which is the bathroom. So in here I decided to use the same windows that I used throughout the whole rest of the apartment, the ones from the Greenhouse Haven kit, but I really wanted there to be sort of like a luxurious bath area in this build, because the amount of different pictures that I've seen on Pinterest and like Instagram over the years of someone having a bathtub and then there's windows like right behind it and you've got like the New York City skyline, like it just felt like it went so well for me, and so I basically wanted to follow that through and pop it down into this bathroom in this apartment. And so that's exactly what I did. I used the bathtub, which is from the Spa Day game pack. I then popped on a little shelf on top of the bathtub itself, just a base game shelf. I moved objects onto it. I then popped on some like shampoo, conditioner bottles, also placed down like a little soap, and then also think a candle. Also, when I was decorating that little area, I popped on 2 little soap bottles onto the actual bathtub itself to kind of stop the clutter from auto placing. And when I was recording, I forgot to delete them, but don't worry, I've already deleted them. I realised when it came round to playtesting and screenshotting this apartment that I left them little soap bottles on kind of like the bathtub itself, but they don't end up being there on the uploaded version on the gallery, so don't worry. But also in this bathroom as well, I placed down a sink area with like a little mirror in front of it. I used the same counters that I used in the kitchen, the ones that we got from the Vampires game pack. Also used a shower, which I don't often use this shower. I believe it's from the Get Famous expansion pack off memory, I believe so anyway, but I wanted to try and make it feel like it was a little bit more built in. So I placed down the shower and then I just built like a single wall to kind of help make it feel like it was built into the wall and just not randomly plonked into the bathroom, if that makes any sense. But on the actual like sink counter unit, I cluttered it up with some like little towels, some like fancy lotion bottles. Also placed down the bathroom clutter kit electric toothbrush. Never use that, and do you know why I never use that? It's because normally whenever I decorate bathrooms, I normally have like a family, like I normally decorate family homes, but whenever it comes around to doing bathrooms, I never want to place down just a single electric toothbrush, because I'm thinking, well, where's everyone else's toothbrushes? So I never normally place it down. But where this apartment was literally just for a single sim, yeah, I placed down a single toothbrush decoration, which doesn't seem like much, but to me, I noticed that I never use it, and it's because I normally build family homes and I want everyone to have a toothbrush. But anyway, moving on. As you can see, I've now moved over into the last room in this apartment, which is the bedroom. So in here, of course, I needed to use the new bed that we got from this new Modern Luxe Kit. It was just an absolute no-brainer for me. I'm just so in love and obsessed that we've got this bed in The Sims 4, because, and it's actually quite funny, I nearly bought this bed myself in real life. So this bed is 100% up my alley. Like, this is my style. Like, love this kind of style. I nearly bought pretty much this exact same bed. I ended up going for a different bed myself, but the only difference is, you see the bed that's in this bedroom, it's kind of got like the headboard, and then either side of the headboard, it kind of like flares out a little bit. That's my bed that's behind me right now, but instead of flaring towards the mattress, it just flares the other way. Like, it's so strange, because I'm pretty much looking at my bed in The Sims 4 now, and I've actually got the same bedding on as well, like completely like white, plain, neutral bedding, because I'm very much like a neutral kind of girl when it comes into interior design. But yeah, I needed to use this new bed. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I'm definitely going to be using this in so many builds going forward. But I paired it with the new little bedside tables that go along with it. We've also got a new vanity within the kit itself, which your Sims can apply makeup on this vanity table, and so it's really nice that we've got a new version of that, because previously we only had that with the vintage Glamour stuff pack, but yeah, now we've got it within the Modern Luxe Kit. Also placed down the shelf into this room. I basically wanted to place down everything that we had from this kit at least once in this build somewhere, and I noticed that I hadn't placed down the wall shelf, and so I popped it kind of like by the little mirror over here. Also placed down a little armchair next to vanity, and then there's also some sort of like poof next to it as well, which is kind of like a powder pink kind of swatch, which is pretty lovely. I love that swatch with that little poof. But then also on the other side of the wall, I placed down the Get Famous walk-in wardrobe situation thing. Never use them, but I noticed that the detailing of the wood matches quite similarly to the ones that it comes from like this Modern Luxe Kit. Like the tones of the gold kind of match quite nicely, and so yeah, I tried to make it seem like this sim had a little walk-in wardrobe. But other than that, I'm going to go around the room, finish it off, and that is pretty much it. So anyway guys, I'm going to end this voiceover right here. As always, you can download this build via the gallery. My gallery ID is JessicapieYT, or you just search for the hashtag JessicapieYT or just the hashtag Jessicapie. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, if you do like my content, then please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speedbuilding video. Bye guys.